But I think another reason why we slip out of our grace zones is because there's a need and we have the ability to do it. And this is one that I really have to watch out with for myself often, because I'm a driven person. And life has given me various experiences. And so I can tend to look at something that needs to be done and think, oh, well, I can do that. And especially, just to be real transparent with you, with things in the ministry particularly, is just out of being cheap, is I can say, oh, well, this needs to be done, but I can just add that to my to-do list and we'll just save some money for the ministry in doing it. Oh, but it always ends up in just being a mess and being a wreck. I learned this real recently dealing with these broadcasts that we're even doing here now. God gave us an opportunity to have these broadcasts air on different networks. And one of the networks in particular just had a whole different set of requirements, a whole different set of standards that they needed for the files that we were sending. And so that was going to add a whole new set of things to the to-do list, and it was even going to cost a little extra money for us to do it. Well, I have a technology mind. Ever since I was like 12 or 13, I've been programming, internet programming and things like that, and my undergrad is in computer information systems, and so my mind is just wired to where I can typically see something that needs to be done technically or with a computer, and I can pretty well do it and at least learn to do it if I don't know it already. So I looked at this extra set of requirements that needed to be done for these files, and I thought, well, okay, I'm just going to add this to my list and I can do this myself, and we'll save some money here. And so added to all of what's already on my to-do list, this thing became a monster. And I don't say that lightly, because I didn't really know how to do it at the time. I thought I could learn how to do it, and in learning how to meet the requirements that they needed, I was spending days, and I don't exaggerate, days trying to figure this out, and I was just getting nowhere. And it was getting so frustrating to the point where I'm like, I don't even know if this is God or the devil with this opportunity. I mean, my discernment was getting so clouded, and I believe this was an opportunity God had called me to do, but I was about ready to walk away from it because it was causing me so much stress. And finally, at a climactic moment, I thought I had figured some things out, and I sent the files off for review, and then I got an email back saying there were more things that had to be done. And I got up from my chair on my desk, and I got up, if you know what I mean. I was not happy. I was fit to be tied. And I said, I got to get out of here before I just walk away from it all. And so I went for a drive to clear my head. And well, I get in my car and my mom calls. And my dad and I were getting ready to go on a vacation, and my mom calls asking me about the size of a suitcase. And I was thinking, this is the last thing right now that I need to be talking about. This is so trivial, talking about the size of a suitcase. So I just about bit her head off over the size of a suitcase. And then I hung up the phone, and I realized this is bringing out the worst in me. This is not what God intended by giving me this opportunity. And then God said to me, he said, Kyle, you are experiencing stress and frustration because you have stepped out of your grace zone. You have taken on tasks that I did not intend for you to take them on just because you have the natural ability to do it. And I knew exactly in that moment what I needed to do. And so I parked myself in a store parking lot, and I pulled out my phone and I emailed up the contact at the network, and I said, I got to get out of the weeds of this. I don't want to be in the loop of this conversation so much anymore. I'm going to let you work directly with my video editor, and you guys can work on getting all of this stuff dealt with, but I can't do this anymore because it's consuming me. And so then I contacted my video editor and I said, handle it, do whatever needs to be done, and we'll pay and believe God's going to provide for whatever the extra costs are. And so thankfully, they got it done. And a burden was lifted off of me, and I was able to get back into my grace zone and be able to prepare and give these messages like God has called me to do right now. Moses dealt with something similar. Do you suffer from feeling anxious, agitated, irritable, or overwhelmed? If so, you are not alone. Unfortunately, 3 out of every 4 Christians admit to these symptoms of stress. But more important than physical suffering, stress comes between our relationships with God. It hinders obedience to God, and it chokes out the fruits of the Holy Spirit in our lives. But you don't have to suffer from stress anymore. In my 4-part audio series, Stress Relievers, I alert you to the common ways stress sneaks into our lives and then guide you through practical strategies to kick stress out. If you're ready to rise above the pressures of today to experience the abundant life that God desires for your future, then don't wait. Go online now to kylewinkler.org and order my 4-part audio series, Stress Relievers, for a donation of only $25. Shipping and handling is included. This series includes 4 stress-relieving messages: living in your grace zone, busybodies, the easy way to trust God, and the place of God's delight. Don't let stress choke out the peace of God in your life anymore. Go to kylewinkler.org to get my Stress Relievers series on 4 CDs or MP3s for a donation of only $25, and get on your way to real rest and relaxation for your body and your soul.